And now we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome on into another Sunday monthly Women and Whiskey Ladies Night.
Woo!
Yay! We got Teresa. We've got Erica from the Rock Gut Review. We've got Michelle. Well, we have her hand right this second. She's having a little bit of some internet issues, so bear with her. We'll blame the weather on that. But we have Michelle with us from the Women of Whiskey's Facebook page and also Instagram. She's been watching the YouTubes for quite a while and decided to start up something where the ladies can go and hang out. And we just love it because it's just all us ladies. And there isn't any stigmatisms. There's no men telling us what to drink and how to drink it. And we can talk about whatever we want. And I have to worry about you guys.
Our hair. We're going to be talking about hair tonight, so FYI.
Yeah, talk about hair. Got it done. Did it today.
Looks great.
I've been really amping up my curls, and I'm enjoying it. It's nice. So, but if anybody has tips on how to get better natural curls, I want to hear those tips. So straight. No matter what I do to it, it's straight. Doesn't matter how much product I put into it, it's straight. So I went with color.
It looks amazing. Both of you, amazing.
Thank you. We'll get to a little bit more about Michelle and let her introduce herself a little bit more here in a minute. We've got a couple of regulars on in here. Glad to see you guys. Steve A. Of course, Ed, the other half of the Rock Gut Review, is in the chat making trouble.
Classic.
Classic him. Classic Ed. Whiskey Crusader Will. That's another third of my channel, Whiskey Crusaders. We got Katie Turk. We got Adriana from Whiskey Mountains on in here as well. Lilith is hanging out, and Nick. Thank you guys for coming to hang out tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about ladies in whiskey, distillers, master tasters, master blenders, and the whiskeys that they helped make or made that we enjoy. Somebody else talk for a while. I need some water.
Woohoo! All right. Well, I think that's probably maybe a good opportunity to say, what's in everybody's glass to get started, because we're already at 7:05 and we need to be drinking whiskey. So we could start at the top of the screen, but you said you're busy. So maybe start with either Erica or Michelle. When do you want to jump in and tell us what you're sipping and why you picked it?
Michelle, you can go first.
You having some internet problems, I think. I think there's a delay.
Okay. Well,
ever since that storm. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, there's a bad storm that hit her area. And
what area is Michelle in?
She's in Idaho. I'm not sure what area in Idaho. But it had some really strong winds and knocked out some stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here anyway.
Yeah.
Who's going to go? You're working out,
the router and everything fixed.
You're working out, Michelle. Go let us know what you're drinking in your glass, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, why you're at it.
Okay. So I'm actually drinking the Freeland Spirits bourbon whiskey. It's out of Portland. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't. I don't think I have.
So I don't know.
That's not one I'm familiar with.
Show that again.
Yeah, it's they're very new. It's called Freeland Spirits, and they're out of Portland, and they're all women owned.
Nice.
And it's partially sourced and partially with a really young distillate, and then they finish it in port casks, I think, or no, Pinot Noir.
Okay.
So it's actually very good.
That sounds really good. I like wine finished whiskeys. So
yeah, I do.
So tell us a little bit about you and what prompted you to start up the Facebook and the Instagram and what you do with those?
I think for me, it was mostly because, my husband was watching Whiskey Tube for quite a while before I was. And I never wanted to really talk in there because I didn't know much. I was still learning and I felt really insecure. And as I started seeing more and more women getting into the chats and whatnot, I thought, wouldn't it be great if we had a place that we could just share our story, our journey, and not have to worry about all the other stuff, And I figured a closed Facebook group would probably be the easiest way to do that. So it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot. There's a lot of interaction going on in there, and a lot of people or a lot of ladies are starting to open up more. I've noticed in there as well. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it took a minute, I think, but just starting to actually, it's not just me talking anymore, which is nice.
And it'll keep on growing the more that we talk about it, the more we share it. It'll keep on growing, and you'll get more people in there that want to do nothing but talk. So honestly, I would be doing a lot more talking in there if I wasn't Discord and then my own personal and then like 3 Instagram pages, and I've got a lot going on, but I need to get in there more and more. What are you drinking on?
Yeah, you have a lot to share.
Yeah. What are you drinking on, Erica? What do you got?
I am drinking Uncle Nearest.
Ooh.
Yeah, their master distiller is actually Nearest's, I think it's great granddaughter. So I was like, yeah, it's a personal favorite of mine. Very brown sugar forward, which I love. My favorite notes in whiskey are generally, I always say sweet and peat. So this is a dream for me.
It hits your sweet.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about the Uncle Nearest, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet.
I absolutely adore. I highly recommend it, especially the 1856. I know there's other expressions, but that's the go-to for me that gives me the elements of sweet that I want. Those sweet, but it still packs a punch because it's very baking spice heavy. So you get brown sugar, vanilla, as opposed to more mellow sweet flavors.
So I know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know I've been hearing a lot about Uncle Nearest just in the last little bit, and I think I can get it up here, but it's I can't remember what distillery it's connected to, because there's a whole historical
Jack Daniels
thing. Is it Jack Daniels or Jim Beam? I couldn't remember.
Jack Daniels. So yeah, I can't remember his. I pulled it up right here. So Nathan Nearest Green was the man who actually taught Jack Daniels how to distill. And so now Uncle Nearest came out, and that's again his great granddaughter just coming out with their own expression of it. So that's how it's related to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it's not actually it's not actually a Jack Daniels.
No.
It's completely.
It's its own thing.
No, it's just this guy that taught them how to distill, and now they're taking their stuff and going.
Right.
Essentially,
I had some confusion about that. Sorry, and I keep cutting Sarah off. So
no, I'm going to mute you. I have control. No, but they have a blended and they have a single barrel, right?
Yes. So I haven't actually tried. I've only had the 1856, and I can't remember the other one, but I know it has a white label. But I haven't had the blended one.
Okay, so you have the single barrel one.
Yeah.
That would probably be where I would go to, because you just never know with the blendeds, and to just buy a bottle blind.
Yeah.
It's iffy for me for that. I'd rather reach for a single barrel myself.
Agreed. I'll definitely try it at some point, but like you said, you never know what you're gonna get with a blended thing. Something get overpowering, I don't want this. Yeah, exactly. And then you have this bottle, and you're like, now what? I'm gonna blend it out to get rid of it, and give it to William and let him blend his peat stuff in it. And I'll give it to Ed. He'll drink anything.
Michelle, your face is just like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Erica just has Ed. I mean, he's like a liquor disposal.
Unfortunately.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, what do you got,
he drinks
Teresa?
the Lord, but unironically or something too, which is
He likes it.
Yeah, that's
He's a masochist. I can't explain him.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
What do you got going on up there, Teresa?
well. I starting off with the final little bit of a sample that I
Your
had
couple of
sitting for
drops.
far too long, and as soon as I poured it, I'm like, oh, this is like so cloudy, and this is why you don't let whiskey sit with just like a little bit in the bottom of the bottle for 6 months. You should finish it off. But
I wish
it's
we gotten on stream you pouring it because it was kind of funny to
like,
watch.
That
your
was
face.
really funny.
and I'm just like, oh,
Drop.
yeah.
Right? The shake
It's
just okay.
it's
That's it.
sick. Oh, like,
William
so,
said Ed needs no explanation.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's true. That's true. So this is some Penderyn or it's Welsh. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to pronounce it, so don't take my word for it. But
It's
their
Welsh.
distillery team is all ladies, which is actually something that I only just found out about. And I'm like, oh, hey, I have some of that sitting on my shelf. I should pour it tonight.
At least you thought you
And
did.
so we're going to do this quick and fast and get on to something else because I have bourbon and rye and other
Do you
stuff.
even still have some in your glass? Well, how do you still have some in your glass? Thank you.
Because I didn't actually, well, surprisingly, it doesn't taste as terrible as it looked. But yeah, this is why we do things so that you don't have to learn from our mistakes. So I'm quickly moving on to an Eleanor from Crowded Barrel. And their original distiller was a lovely lady named Deb. And their current distiller is another lovely lady named Emma, who is also one of their master blender. Like Emma's just awesome. And if you don't know Emma, well, you should.
You really should know Emma. Everybody should know Emma. And honestly, everybody should know Deb because she's awesome too. But
yes.
So I didn't even think about pulling down Eleanor because technically that's MGP whiskey. But it did get touched by a woman when it came to us in Texas. But
and the brand is very inclusive and
but that's a good one. That's a good one. I have, I don't know, several of the Eleanor's Crowded Barrel products, and then I have several more in Austin still waiting to be freaking picked up.
I just bought my single mom.
And you can't see me because there's cattail.
There's a cat in the way. You got cat muted.
Weasley. Yeah, I ordered my single mom last night.
Yeah,
cattail. So we finally made it back around, and I am almost done with my pour of Joe Mag now. There was some talk about it earlier. Steve said he was going to start with Joe Mag, so I decided I'll start with Joe Mag too. I have a couple of different things that I pulled down that have been touched by the same wonderful lady, the same amazing woman that helped blend the Joe Mag, Nancy Fraley. She's just a legend. And we currently have her lined up to come on in September.
You do?
She is a definite. I'm still working on the other half. But yeah, so look forward to that in the future. Joe Mag was one of my first loves of whiskey when I first got into whiskey. And it took me about a year to finally pull the trigger on this $100 bottle back in the day, because it was like $100 for a bottle of whiskey. Now I'm like, I need another bottle of Joe Mag. Take my money. So if you haven't had the chance to try Joe Mag, do it. Go to your Total Wine and ask them if they have an open bottle to sample, something like that, because sometimes they do. Or find a friend who has Joe Mag and try it.
And hope that they share.
I'd share. If you were close, I'd share. As a matter of fact, William is over here sharing it right now. He just came out the bedroom to get a pour. So, and yes, Steve A says the nose. If you don't know much about Nancy Fraley, then you need to leave. Cheers.
Well, no,
Nancy-
they need to
I'm
stick
just
around and learn and come back
I'm
in
just kidding.
September for sure. But
Nancy is, in a, like we've said, legendary master blender. She has blended for several different distilleries, and it's just amazing. We had her on the Whiskey Crusaders some months back, somewhere in the middle of Rona, and she's one of those people that you can just sit and listen to talk about the process and what she does, and just listen. Just keep talking, Nancy, and
She
just
has
soak
best
it all
stories.
in. So look forward to that, and later in the year. Actually, it's a couple months from now, essentially, at this point, to having her on.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you know, when we talked to Nancy, she was saying something about doing something with Iron Root. Do you know if she did or?
She did.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, she's helped out Iron Root as well. That's why I have some Iron Root pulled to drink.
Nice.
But yeah, she's helped out with Iron Root, and she's good friends with Mama Licorice up there, and that would be the other half that we're trying to get on with her. So keep your eyes open for September stream for sure. Who's moved on? I know, Teresa, you've already talked about what you moved on
Yeah,
to,
I
unless
on
you've
to
moved on
Illinois.
again.
No, not yet. I'm thinking about it, but not yet.
Yeah, I don't know what to do next.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of a lower proof for me. So I'm going to kind of, well, I guess, what is this at? 90? 100 proof. Okay. So I guess I'll go with this. Where is she? So this is now the general manager / distiller for George Dickel is now a female. Nicole Austin. She produced the 13-year Bottled in Bond. That was the first release she had with Dickel. I don't like the 13-year Bottled in Bond. I only like the 11-year. So that's what I pulled, even though it wasn't made by her, but it's still a Dickel. And so I'm just going to go ahead and go with Dickel. There are a lot of people that really love Dickel, and that's awesome. That's good for them. Drink what you like to drink. Just not
Sometimes you just need a Dickel in your mouth.
Sometimes you just need a Dickel.
Sometimes you need a little Dickel.
Little Dickel. Teresa does not have size preference, but yeah. So I'm gonna drink a little bit of this Dickel here because it's the one that I like. What else? What do you got?
I'm gonna drink something you hate, Sarah. I moved on to Laphroaig, a peat classic. So yeah, this particular expression, not distilled by a woman, but at one point the owner and like master distiller of Laphroaig was Bessie Williamson, which was like, I think at the time she did it, she was like one of the first women who become like a distiller. So, you know, she's the reason it continues to live on and continues to fill my heart and soul with that smoky, peaty wonderfulness.
Yeah, you just have that.
Yeah.
I was going to bring, I've got my Laphroaig sitting to the side because, like, if you've never heard of Bessie, and I only first heard about her like 2 years ago, and I'm just like, holy crap, like, she was just awesome.
Yeah.
and some of the stories that I've heard since. So, you know, I don't think we've got time to go into everything tonight, but yeah, I've got my Laphroaig sitting to the side, but I'm going to wait because I have some other stuff to drink first. So, but I had to, I love the legend of Bessie is just, you could fill volumes. It's amazing. Somebody needs to make a movie of her life because like there's a whole thing with when the World War II that she made a point of staying behind at the distillery, and they were converting it for the war effort. And so she leveraged the relationships there to get things added and expanded on the government dime, basically.
Smart
Because,
move.
oh yeah, hey, like it's like, oh well, you guys need all this warehouse space. Yeah, you can build it, but you know, like we got this, and if you made it this big, then we could totally accommodate that. Blah 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 blah. And then afterwards, it's like, yeah, now they have all this extra storage and the washbacks. There was like she had them build bigger washbacks for her while they were there.
Heck
Another
yeah.
legend.
It's like, you know, there's bombs, you know, I picture bombs falling in the background, and there's this little Scottish lady in a cardigan just ordering the troops around on what to do. That's how I build it up in my mind anyways. So that's, you know, somebody
Paints a
needs
pretty
to make
picture.
a
I like it.
movie of her life. So
I like it.
Michelle, what are you doing over in the bottom there? What are you sipping on?
I haven't moved on yet. I'm still on that first glass. I absolutely. One thing I was going to say about her, Molly Troop is the master distiller and half partner of this Freeland Spirit. She's the youngest female master distiller in the U.S.
Oh wow,
No.
that's
It's kind of a cool story.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What is the name of it again?
Freeland Spirit.
Freeland.
It's out of Portland.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They're super young.
I'm writing it down. So
So you said she was the youngest distiller. Do you happen to know like how young she is, out of curiosity?
You know, I want to say that she's in. I wrote it down because I just found out today she was the youngest. I didn't know that. I want to say she's in her very early 30s, if I remember right.
That is impressive.
Oh. Yeah, she made the list in the Forbes under 30, so she must be late 20s. Actually.
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So she's got a great story. She basically just started at the bottom working at a distillery and just kept on going and getting her education, and she got a degree in chemistry.
Yeah, like William said, we'll have to ask Matt about that one, see if he has any of that one to try.
Yeah.
Can you hold up that bottle again? Because I noticed. I'm gonna make you bigger here so that we can see it. Hold it all the way up. That is a unique bottle for a whiskey.
That's
It
fun.
really is. It's kind of cool.
That is really cool.
It looks great on the shelf.
It reminds me like of an old rum bottle or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I follow on Instagram called Gunpowder Lighting, and he's local-ish or something in my area up in Alberta. And he takes old bottles. That's one of his things, and he turns them into, you know, light fixtures and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's a bottle that you want to save so that you can do something cool with it afterwards. Like, that is not a bottle that gets recycled. That's a bottle that goes on a shelf somewhere.
That actually would make like a cool bottle that would hang from a light fixture to hang down because of that, like Kilko said, the teardrop
That's a great shape. Yeah.
shape.
The teardrop, yeah.
Teardrop. Yeah, I like that bottle. I'm gonna have to look that up and see what I can't find.
Yeah, and I mean it's
Around
super
it.
reasonable. It's fairly easy to find.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find it around us.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, if not, reach out. I can hook you up.
that would be awesome.
This is why it's good to have friends in the whiskey dumb, because, you know, that's how you get to try stuff that you can't find
Yeah.
or that you can't afford, or, you know, it's like, well, I'm on a budget, but, you know, hey, if somebody wants to give me whiskey to try,
Seriously.
I'll say no.
yeah, exactly. I'm going to trade. I'll like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you, Sarah, and maybe get contact information for all the ladies and throw some samples your way.
Sounds like a
Love
plan.
it.
And
We don't have to acknowledge him.
I figured he'd be one that's like eating the lipstick.
I could see that.
I can
Just
see
line a
I can see
whiskey
eating
glass with
chopstick as a kid.
lipstick.
Cherry chapstick.
Oh dear.
Okay. You still working on your Lafroig down there?
I am. I don't know what to go to next.
I know what I'm going to.
I got some
I
options.
this is what I've poured as my next one. So lot 40. The basic expression is actually got really good distribution, even into parts of the US. And their cast strength edition, the last cast strength edition actually was released in parts of the US back in the fall or end of summer last year. This one is their dark oak. And
I want
this
to try
is
that.
yeah, oh my goodness. It's so what they did is it's a double it's a double cask situation where they did standard ex bourbon, but then they put it into a Char 4 virgin cask and let it sit for a second maturation period. I can't remember how long. I'd have to look at my notes, but I got to try this one last summer at a tasting and then was told that, oh, we're only releasing it in BC and Ontario. And I was like, well, screw you. That a couple of weeks ago they released it in Alberta, and then the other day I posted about the live stream, and I was like, hey, what's your favorite woman influenced or distilled spirit, blah 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 blah. And a friend of mine pointed out that lot 40, Hiram Walker's one of their distillers is a lady. And so I'm like, what? So then I had to go and look at her Instagram. She's looks like a really cool young gal too. Amy, she's the Canadian whiskey distiller on Instagram. And so I'm like, all right, I needed an excuse to go out and buy more whiskey because sometimes you have to be able to justify it. And so live stream, Women Distilled, I love it anyways. And it just smells like creamy and smoky, and I haven't even tasted it. I've just been sitting here smelling it for the last 10 minutes. But I remember it tasting like mesquite.
So as I've said numerous times, I don't drink rye, but we do have lot 40 in the home. And like, this is going to be a negative coming from me, but it's going to be a glowing review because I hate rye. It's like, I hate it because it's too rye-y. So if you love rye, that's honestly a glowing review. It's like you'll get exactly what you want, which is just personally what I do not.
I'm not a fan of rye either, so I'm with you. But I want to try that one.
This one is I mean, it's still lot 40, but it's not as rye-esque. The wood influence, the cask influence, really kind of plays in a neat way with it. At least I think so. But
it's
they
beautiful
actually
color.
It's gorgeous. Like that's, and
it's
this is
super dark.
One, actually, I don't even know if you'll be able to see without.
Yeah, let me make it bigger.
No, I think the light's glaring on it. I'm trying to get it somewhere, but there's printing actually on the bottle.
I can see it every once in a while.
Yeah, there's something like the distillery, I think, or something. There's some sort of writing on here that's behind the label. Anyways, it's a different kind of a bottle. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to like save this one for after everything because that's just that's a bottle to like make into a decanter or something. I don't know. Rye, don't you love rye?
I've moved on to Maker's Mark. Jane Bowie is the master of maturation over at Maker's Mark. I happen to have a sample of said Maker's Mark. This is a cast strength, 111.4 proof sample that I had left over from Matt, which is where almost all my samples are from. But I doing some research. I discovered some that's I was surprised that it was women who are either the distiller or the blender or the master of maturation or whatever the case may be. So Maker's Mark. And Erica, looks like you're going to join me. Which one you have there?
I am. I have one of the 2021 limited releases. It's FAE 01. So they did those special wood finishing series. So yeah, this one is good. The stave details are 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. I'm sure Ed could be in the chat and tell you more like details about it. I just like to drink. He likes to look up the things. But yeah, that's another one where I looked up and I was kind of surprised. I did not know.
Same. I was like, I know I have a freaking sample of that somewhere in this house. So I went through 2 boxes and finally found one.
But yeah, Makers is always a classic, and just like especially for the price point, like it gives you so many flavors. Like I know it's considered a basic drink to so many people, and I'm like, for what it costs, like it is so good.
Wasn't it Makers that back in the 80s had the whole, campaign where it's like it's expensive, or it tastes expensive because it is, or something like that, right? Like when everybody was making their light whiskey and going, wasn't that Makers that Daniel likes to talk about that on whiskey?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
They had a whole thing where it was like, yeah, we're just going to be what we are, and you can love us or hate us, and we're just going to do what we're doing because
sounds about right.
Yeah.
William is saying that's exactly it. So you're correct. Well, exactly what Steve just said. The regular Makers, just your base bottle of Makers. Not a huge fan of. 46 is getting decent, and their cast strength stuff is good. Their private select, I think that's what it's called, bottles. Yeah. They're fairly good too. I'm just never really been a big fan of the basic Makers when I've got other things to reach for, moving kind of upscale in their expressions.
It is very simple, but I do like those like cherry notes you get from it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Good.
Michelle, I saw you open something else. What you got over there?
I moved on to some Woodford Double Oak. The assistant master distiller, Elizabeth McCall. Yep. She's also another young master distiller in the U.S. She's one of the youngest. I guess apparently that's kind of my theme today. I didn't mean for it to be.
No, that's okay.
Another really, really cool story. And I just, I didn't know a lot about her. And when I started kind of looking around, I was like, wow, some of these women, they just blow your mind how they put their mind to something, and at such young ages,
We're going to rule the world eventually.
Absolutely.
We're starting to take over at younger ages.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm behind the ball on that. I don't know.
But I think
as long as somebody's doing it, I mean, me too. I've only been drinking whiskey for what I think it's been like 4 years now. So I'm going to be 39 this year, and I'm behind the ball a little bit for some of these women under 20 that are distillers now. And like, okay.
If somebody had told me in high school that a chemistry degree meant that you could become a master distiller, well, then I loved chemistry in high school, but I'm like, I don't want to go and like play in a lab. And now I'm like, I want to go play in a lab.
I did not. I was a fan of chemistry. I just wasn't good at it. I liked the concept of chemistry. I just wasn't good at it. Had I known the different things I could have done when I got older, I might have tried a little bit better to be good at it.
Yeah, I might have paid more attention. You never know.
Exactly. You always thought chemistry was just about blowing things up, Let's mix these things and see what happens.
Apparently an explosion.
Yeah. Who can blow up the school today?
Well, especially since I'm 10 years older than you. So when I was in chemistry, it was a whole different ballgame. It was scary crap.
I bet. Everybody's.
Oh, go ahead.
Everybody's commenting on the puppy. Cute puppy.
Yeah. It's a cutie.
She's a baby. She thinks she's a baby.
She looks like a teddy bear.
Oh.
She's like, this is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Oh, thank you.
Mine's passed out. until I pull out the bacon.
She's got such a fluffy face.
Yes.
She loves bacon too. She
Well-
is my 4 pounds of fury.
Little big dog syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right.
And don't let William say any different. She has him wrapped around her little paw.
Aw.
Not you.
Nope,
You just-
not me.
No. William just walked in. So
Oh,
No.
other William.
other William.
He's also wrapped around the paw.
Yes. Except
Look at these.
my William's, wrapped around the cat's paw. So, because cat
Yeah.
sits in my lap, of course. Yeah. Speaking of him, he said he likes the cherry note in the Makers, but the regular Makers has that kind of metallic note to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Bonnie Mae, I wanted to tell you that, totally off topic, ladies, I apologize. Bonnie Mae's in the chat, and she sent me some eyelashes, and I'm wearing them. They're very comfortable. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Are
That goes-
They
they?
look amazing.
Yeah. Are they
Yeah.
magnetic or are they like? I
No, it's actually
put on
really easy.
mascara.
Well, I like the magnetic ones because they're easy, and I'm not good with stuff like that. But this has a little pen that is an adhesive, and it's like drawing on eyeliner, but it's clear. And then you just slap the eyelashes on.
Oh,
Oh.
that
It's kind of
sounds
cool.
like something I might not screw up. So
I glued my
Right.
eyes together.
yeah, like I haven't used fake lashes since I was in my 20s, but I had like really cool ones that had like peacock feather kind of things. They were fun when I would club back in the days when clubbing was still a thing. But
It's still a thing,
know,
but it's
that's
not
like-
for our ages.
forever ago. Oh well, now I just like it's Saturday. I'm gonna put on peacocks because why not? Except that no, because they're just fake lashes are just such a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Even mascara. I don't even wear mascara half the time because it's just like, well, if I put it on, I have to take it off, and that's just more trouble than it's worth.
I just
I was scared of them.
scared
These
of
are
them.
super easy. Yeah, these are super. Because I'm like, I'm getting ready to go on a live, and I'm like, really? Am I going to try these right now? Super easy. I was super excited.
Nice. You have to like tell us the brand name because now I'm curious about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bonnie.
Bonnie Mae, will you
intro.
drop the brand name because I don't actually know.
Yeah, Bunny, you can drop the
Bunny.
information in the chat there for any of the ladies who are interested in trying these.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself with anything that has to do with glue around my eyes. So the last
Valid.
time I had fake lashes on, somebody else put them on me, and it had to have been at least 15 plus years ago. So yeah, I don't trust myself. I'm the kid that glues her fingers together accidentally with the glue in class. I just clumsy. Which is another reason why glitter's not allowed in my house.
We were talking
so
about
fun.
that before because she just did her hair and she did Junior's hair as well, and I was saying she needed to do like Will's beard, like, and they you could use like the beard glitter stuff that apparently exists in the world somewhere, and she said no because glitter is just nope, we don't do that.
I will tell you exactly what it is. Glitter is the herpes of the craft world. It never goes away. Okay? That's it. You get it on one Christmas card, you'll find it still in the same place the following Christmas. Or it's migrated throughout the house. It never goes away. I don't like it.
Okay, valid.
End rant.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Not
Totally
a fan.
off topic there for a minute.
Hey, we are whiskey and lipstick, so personal grooming and cosmetics talk is
Personal
totally
grooming.
a thing. Like, you know what? So I was thinking about this earlier because I'm like, you know what? If we could get sponsorship from like CoverGirl or something like that would be awesome. And it's like we're women. Women talk
CoverGirl.
about things differently than what guys do. Hey, yeah.
CoverGirl.
Yes. Because you can put it on and it doesn't get on your glass. Hello. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Less money,
but,
CoverGirl.
like if it was like there are all
Give
these
us
ones
the-
with guys, like guys podcasts where they're talking about whiskey and then they take a diversion and talk about sports for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like sports. I don't mind sports. I will sports from time to
I
time.
will sports.
But I'm here for the whiskey. So it's like, you know what? If you're a guy and you're tuning in, you don't have to wear the lipstick, but occasionally you might have to listen to us talk about it for, a few minutes.
It's in
Well,
the
also
title.
talk
I
about
feel
whiskey.
like they knew what they signed up for.
You're
Sorry, guys.
you're- at least, hey, if it was somebody who said, like we're whiskey and sports, like cool, but don't ambush me, dude.
I don't do the sports ball. I'm not a big
No.
sports ball fan. I like the fighty, slashy, skatey,
Oh.
fighty,
Skatey fighty things?
skatey, fighty things. Hockey,
Skatey fighty things?
not sports balls.
Not sports balls?
I'm very selectively into sports. Like I cheer for the teams that are close to the places I live. So like the Bucks are in the playoffs now. So I was like, yes, I definitely will watch them and support them. But if they lose, then I'll be like, I've never heard of basketball. What's that?
So, I'm trying to remember. Are you guys in Cheesehead territory?
I don't even
Green
know what
Bay?
that means.
Oh.
Oh,
Really?
So,
I know what that
when
means.
I sports the football, the south of the border football stuff, I'm a cheesehead. I'm into my Green Bay Packers. So
Okay,
sorry.
so-
Now I'm like totally diverting us into a sports conversation. Sorry, girls, but
Ed said he did a sport once. It was terrible.
I thought you said G10. Yes, I know Green Bay. Yeah, very big Green Bay fan. I thought you said G10. I was like, is that a division? I don't know.
Cheesehead.
Yes. That's when I understood.
But-
Yes, I am a huge cheesehead. I love my Packers.
That's what Aaron. Oh, like I'm a fan of the old man, but Aaron is where it's at.
Yeah, I still just don't like if I'm gonna root for something that's not hockey, then it'll be like baseball if we're in the series or something. But I'm not a big basketball fan, not
What
not
about
a
you,
big
Michelle?
football fan. No.
Yeah.
Like
Michelle, do you sports at all?
do you sports at all?
I do high school and college sports, not the big. I enjoy the occasional high school or college game.
Support
It's
local.
not as commercialized.
And see, that might be part of my issue because I grew up going to high school football because I was in band. I was in marching band. I was in color guard. So I had to go. And I just think I got so burnt out on every Friday having to go. And then when your school gets into state, you got to go. And I was done. Like, no, thank you. I'm done. No
Yeah.
more.
That's
No more
That's
football.
my daughter. She's been doing marching band. She started in 6th grade and she just graduated. And she's like, she got offered to go be in the marching band at college, and she's like, no, I've been a band kid my whole life. I'm not doing it in college.
Yeah, 6th grade. Wow. I was in band, regular band, playing an instrument in 6th grade, but not marching. We didn't have that kind of fanciness around here for 6th grade.
Oh no, we're a small town. They just needed help. They needed bodies.
Now they do start marching in 9th grade here. Some of the high schools actually do start at 9th grade. The one I went to didn't start until 10th grade. So I was 10th grade, but still I did it in college for a year, and mainly because I wanted to do the guard side of it, the color guard, but I'm done with football. Hell no. Bring on the hockey.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do that. I'd much rather go to a hockey game.
I like
Um,
basketball.
Since we have gone way completely off subject here, it's not even about lipstick and cosmetics anymore. I have moved on to another Nancy Fraley. I am drinking some Still Austin, batch 2. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. Batch number 2. This is 50.2%. Still Austin, if it makes it to you, buy it. All of them are good. I think they're at batch 3 release now, plus the musician. They came out with, I believe, a cask strength as well. Buy it. If you see it, buy it. It is good. Every single one of them are good. Of course, Nancy touched it, so there you go. And if you are all ever in Texas, stop by. They are just generally good people there.
I missed visiting them the last time I was there in 2019, and I kind of wish I'd had a chance. But the next time I am in Texas, I will plan to put them on the tour.
You have access to so much good stuff in Texas. I'm jealous.
Yeah, we are kind of lucky, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't have access to too. So, like Canadian, but the good stuff she has up there. Jerry Black, thanks for coming in. Looks like Destination Bourbon sent him over. Welcome on in. Livewire Whiskey, hello.
Cheers.
Got some other fellas coming on in here. Richie Z, Austin Feltz, welcome. What is everybody in the chat drinking while we are going through what we're drinking now?
I'm gonna take a few minutes and talk about my Jane Walker, because I actually bought this year. Last year, so when the first Jane Walker came out, I was very cynical about it, because I'm like, really, you're Johnnie Walker, and now you've put out a brand on International Women's Day in, celebrating women in the industry, and instead of looking back through your history and finding, a woman from your history that you could name this whiskey after, because John Walker was an actual person, you just slapped the name Jane in there. And basically you took, all they did was take the Johnnie Walker Double Black and repackage it. And that made me mad. And I'm like, I refuse to buy that just because all you did was slap a label on it. It's pink washing, that is the term that they use, where they take an existing product and they just gussy it up and say, here, now it's for women.
Like the pink razor.
Like the pink razor, like pink pens. Like, holy fucks. Bic put out a package of pink pens because pink pens are for women.
They're also more expensive.
I hate pink.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Yeah. I hate pink.
Hi, Richie Z.
Yeah. So that's where I was going with the first Jane Walker. This year, I think Johnnie Walker may have gotten the message that if you're going to do something for women, do something for women. Like,
do it right.
Don't just do it right. So this year they actually did it right. So this is a unique expression among the Johnnie Walkers. It is the only other single malt in their lineup that I'm aware of, aside from the Johnny Green, which the Johnny Green is the one that always gets, oh yeah, you're looking for a blended scotch? The Johnny Green is amazing. Well, the Johnny Green isn't a blended scotch. It's a blended malt, which is why it's better than all the other Johnnie Walkers.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my own opinion, but that's a whole other thing. But this one is the only other blended malt that Johnnie Walker does, or has done as of this year. It is a wine cask finish, and on the box actually says, the story of this whiskey begins with Elizabeth Cumming, who owned and operated Cardew Distillery, and under whose leadership the distillery flourished. She ultimately sold it to the Walker family, and Cardew is one of their malts that they use in their blends. And so it is the basis for this blended malt. This was actually put together and blended and all of that sort of stuff by Emma Walker, who is the master blender at Johnnie Walker. And so when I started reading that, and then I noticed, I'm like, oh, they've put it at overproof, not by much. It's 41.9, but it's not just 40%. So it's got a little something extra. They haven't held it back because it's for women. No, like they took the time, and it's got an age statement. So it's got all these things. It's got a 10-year age statement on it, which is also something that you don't see on most Johnnie Walkers. So I cracked it open for the first time, and I'm digging it. So that's me digressing and
The
Going
moral
on
of
a
the
tirade.
story is if you're going to do something for women, do it fucking right the first time or you're going to get bitched at.
That's kind of a
And
blanket
then-
statement, I think.
Blanket statement. Everybody's heard it here the first time. Come on now. Just move on and do it right.
Yeah. I loved how simply you put it. Just like if you're gonna do something for women, do
Just do
something
right.
for women. Like
Come on, it needs 5 minutes of dedicated tirade.
We are going to
Come on.
bitch about it.
I'm gonna bitch about it.
So
But this one I'm not bitching about because they actually did a really nice. This is a really nice whiskey.
is
I
that
don't care
mid?
who you are. I'm not really sure if it's. I don't think it's peated. I'm getting more of an oak note in it because it does have that 10 years.
Yeah.
And it does have that wine finish, which sometimes, I think it's wine or, it's got more of a cask feel to it, a bit of an old wood note in there somewhere.
Old wood.
Old wood. So it's got a slightly, not vegetative, but, it's
No, I
just a
got
mustiness, a malty mustiness to it that's actually really nice, but a nice fruitiness as well. And it's Diageo as well. So it's something else. And this is where I think Diageo has a reputation for all of the bad reputation that they sometimes get. They actually have a very high percentage of female representation in the company. And that is at all levels. It's not just that, oh yeah, we're 50% women and they're all administrative assistants. No, they have women at all levels in the organization. And that's something that's worth celebrating. And I'm glad that they took the time to do it right this year.
They're not just administrative assistants.
Yeah, they're not.
They actually do shit.
They actually do shit like distill and blend and all that kind of good stuff.
Hell yeah. I do believe we
love it.
tried the older version of that at some point in time in one of the, I don't know how many reviews that we've done, but I just don't remember. I just don't. I'd have to go back and search and see and whatever. But I'm interested to try that newer version. Although, again, I don't like pink. So, just because it's pink doesn't mean, whatever.
They actually went kind of nice with it too. Like it's more of like a rose kind of.
It's pink.
That
Oh,
rose
yeah.
gold.
It's not like it's not Barbie pink though.
I don't like
It's
pink.
nice. I don't know. It's more of a ready.
Not even
tone
like a
to it.
rose gold. Like I think that's what she's kind of.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's not like pink.
It doesn't look that pink.
It looks
No.
with the way the lighting is and everything. It doesn't look. It looks more like almost like a light magenta.
Yeah. It's more of in the magenta spectrum for sure.
When to answer your question, Erica, when my hair gets too pink in the rose gold side, it's time to change it. So, I just can't.
No touches of pink. Got
Red
it.
is the closest I get to pink. Looks rose gold bronzy thing. Okay. That's the technical term from Adriana.
All right. Ooh, nice.
That was a
corn
good pop. That was a brand new
Right?
bottle, wasn't it?
It was. This is new.
Yes,
This is my
you're.
first time trying this. This is that Melamine Green I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I was asking Ed like what other like female touch things does he know? And he was like, oh, like we have this thing in the store. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
a Texas whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this
and-
is the triple cask. I know there were like 3 different ones at his store, but I was like,
They have
I
a
get
rye.
very trying new things. So I was like, give me the cheapest one.
They have a rye as well, I believe, and then just a regular bourbon, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It's been a while since I did any research on Melamine Green, but as we were talking about before, I have met Heather Green. She was at the last Bastards Ball, and we chatted for a while.
She's super cool.
She's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she literally wrote the book on an intro to whiskey kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
Right.
or she literally wrote a book on intro to whiskey. So,
I have some glasses down there from them from the Bastards Ball too. I was like, "Can I have this?" She's like, "Oh yeah." So, yeah.
Is that the little ones?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was probably one of my highlights. I loved sitting there talking to her.
Yeah. I sat there and talked to her for quite a while, and actually I walked away with her card. And she might be one that we contact here and see if we can't get her on and talk with her some.
That'd be great.
So, reach into my packet of contacts. And here comes all the critters. Hi, Bacon. I know there's a few faces that I haven't seen in here before, a few names. This is Tonks, and the other one is Weasley, and they are the Bacon Cats. They are just part of the show.
They're so cute.
Because bacon is amazing.
They're bacon mooches.
No.
So you're drinking the Milam and Green. Are you still working on the Jane Walker over there? Here. Look here.
No, I moved on, but I sort of talked about it at length there for a bit, so I'll let somebody else talk for a bit before I talk about my next pour.
Let me get this cat out of the way.
All right. Oh,
I'm going to move on to... Yeah, I'm ready. I'm in my research and looking up women who work with the actual whiskey, not the administrative assistants. I found that there is a label called Master Taster, which I want that job. The Master Taster. So Old Forester has Jackie Zykan. I think I'm saying that right. Zykan. You got it too? And she's the master taster for Old Forester.
Everyone else has a pet jumping into the frame.
So Ed is Erica's pet.
Yeah.
I got my pet Mustang.
Throw Ed a bone there.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Oh,
so
that's great.
I pulled out my Old Forester 1920. This is one of my favorite expressions that Old Forester has put out, the Prohibition style. But this is ironically 115 proof, not the higher one that they have. But what's it? Is it? Which one's the higher? I thought there was one higher than it. But anywho, this is one of my favorite Old Foresters. Which one do you have down there, Michelle? Same?
The exact same one. Yep.
We only have two in the house right now, and I think it's the 1910 that we have back there. It's almost gone, so I didn't want to bottle that down tonight, because then that means I have to go to the store. I have to send Ben money. So, but yeah, Master Taster. What's that about? Please, can I have that job?
Well, you sent me a little bit of a write-up about it this afternoon. You're like, so with women working in the industry, like, does this count, or are we just doing distillers? I'm like, whatever. If you want to tell a story about it, let's hear, right? And so you showed me that little write-up about her, and it sounded really cool. Like it's some of those things. It's tasting things to make sure that you're keeping your brand consistency, and then brand education. Like it sounded like a really cool and important job too, right? Like it's all well and good to make something, but if you can't keep your batches tasting the same, I mean, unless you're doing specifically batched whiskeys.
I want that job. Yeah. I will sit there and taste your whiskey all day.
Yeah. I feel like being a part of
though.
Yeah. I feel like being a part of the quality control is a part of like making it. Because like if you're the master taster, I imagine it's like no, send this back. We cannot share this or anything. Or like, oh, needs more of this. Like you're still involved in like the final product that goes to everybody.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you're kind of the last line of defense on your brand reputation at that point. Because if you put something out and somebody goes and buys a bottle and they're like, well, this isn't what I had last time. I mean,
Right.
unless you're one of those brands that is specifically doing every batch is going to be different,
Mhm.
which there are only a handful. I mean, if you're a commercial operation, you want consistency. You need everything, that what you put out today is the same as what you put out 2 years ago, because otherwise, you're going to lose that reputation.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I volunteer as tribute.
And I'll tell you, Jackie Zykan is, if you ever get a chance to listen to her, she's wonderful. She's great. I don't know what kind of resume it takes to be a master taster, but
Right.
I would be on the list. I'd throw my hat in that ring.
Heck yeah. Twist my arm. Whatever. But
Michelle,
where do I
it
need
sounds
to
like
go?
you have- It sounds like you have a was it Jackie? Jackie was her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle, it sounds like you have a Jackie story. Do you have a Jackie story? Have you met her? Or
No, not really. I actually have not met her. I've seen her, I believe it was on Mash and Drum. I think she was on there, and
Yes.
she's just so down to earth and so real. There's an aura about her that amazes me.
So Donald is saying here to check out Chapelgate Irish Whiskey Company in Ireland is all women.
Of
And-
course, Donald Rance came through with Irish whiskey knowledge.
If Donald tells you to drink something or check something out, just do it because he knows
He
what
knows
he's
his shit.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Donald, I wrote that down over here with my other note from earlier, so I can check that out for sure. Because you know how I am with Irish. Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard of Chapelgate Irish Whiskey
Mhm.
Company, but I have heard of JJ Corey. So okay, I'll have to.
Yeah. Like Steve said, this is
I'm
why
writing it down as well.
Donald is the Irish Yoda.
Yeah.
And just listen to him, okay?
Yeah.
Just do what he says.
He has such knowledge about Irish whiskey and like all stuff in general, but like especially Irish whiskey. It's just such passion he brings to it. It's like, oh my God.
He's part of the reason why I've spent a lot of money on some Irish whiskey.
Money well
Have you
spent,
tried
though,
Huh?
I'm sure it was money well spent if he recommended it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money very well spent. Money that's gonna sit there for a while. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're gonna baby those bottles, literally. So
it's great. We are getting ready to possibly move into a new home now that we finally got our rec room / speakeasy done. So the best part is I get to, when we get all our new shelving, I get to go fill it.
yay!
All kinds of stuff. So I haven't told Will that yet, but
I'm sure he'll be okay with it.
probably.
I mean, he helps you drink it. It's not like it's just
Yeah.
for you.
It's not like we don't open it.
Right. And see, for me, anytime I tell my Will to go get something, he happily goes and gets it or is okay with it. Like the last bottle of Irish that I came home with randomly. So thankfully, he understands. So that's going to be fun.
And for me, what happens is my Will goes to the store and doesn't tell me because he doesn't want to share it. I'm thinking, I don't know, but I see it in the bank account. I'm like, did you go to the store and get something good?
Where did you hide it?
Where is it? Mm-hmm.
Mine isn't allowed to do that. He isn't allowed to do that, especially right now because I'm the only one working right now, so he's not allowed to do that. See, looking through.
Okay, so real quick, I'm looking at the chat, if you don't mind, Sarah.
Yeah, I was looking through too.
There is a lot of questions about on a stream the other night. We did 2 truths and a lie, And apparently, people are wanting to understand how I got hit by a car twice. Apparently, I'm a bad pedestrian. So it was 2 separate instances. So it's not that, as Julie L said, Will was not pissed at me. He didn't hit me twice. Real quick, one was me on a bicycle going to work, and it was a hit and run. And I didn't know that I had been hit by a car until they looked at my bike. I just woke up in the middle of the road. I was trying to be healthy. See what happens when you try to be healthy? Don't do it.
Just stay home.
And then
Exercise will kill
drive
you.
your car, don't ride a bike. So
Definitely
they
not.
think that maybe it was one of those trucks with the mirrors, the side mirrors on the outside, and maybe it
Clipped you.
got me. And then the second time I was literally just crossing the street, and this woman she was so busy looking to see if she could turn right on red that she didn't realize I was in front of her in the crosswalk and just hit me. So I definitely am not a good pedestrian, apparently.
Yeah, you need
It
to
just
not
There you go. Now it's explained.
Never walk anywhere.
stay in your
dress in
car.
bubble wrap.
Stay in your car, or just don't leave the house.
Yeah, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
They make
Pretty
bubble
much.
wrap suits.
Ah,
much.
Brian, a lady with a cardboard sign got you. You guys saw that, right? The Tour,
What?
the Tour de France. The lady with the cardboard sign.
I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
You didn't see that? He knocked over like
I will-
half of the freaking racers and the bikers because she was in the way with her damn cardboard sign. She clipped one guy, and like everybody on that side behind him like fell over. Like, and she just ran off apparently.
How have I not heard of
I'm
it?
totally like Googling
Google
this. Oh, it's just in the last like day.
Yes. Yes. Like they all
Okay.
fell over, and like she totally fucked up their freaking race. And
I'm just looking at the pictures of the fallout, and I'm like, a lady with a cardboard sign did this?
yes. Well, and think about how close they are when they're bicycling. They
Yeah.
are just totally on top of each other. So you clip one, you clip a bunch of them. One slight mistake, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you see it, Michelle?
No, I'm just picturing it.
Oh yeah, you check it out after. Like
It's worth
crazy.
a Google.
They're searching for this lady, and they're talking about suing her and all kinds of stuff for her because she fucked some shit up. Yeah. She's in the way.
Can you imagine how embarrassed she is, though?
I bet it's probably why she hauled ass and ran away. Oh, here, let me
Uh,
right there. See, she clipped that one guy. If you can see it. We lost Michelle.
Oh no.
uh-oh. Damn.
Michelle, we lost you. Where'd you go?
Okay, that's just.
So yeah.
Hopefully
That
she'll
picture-
maybe she lost connection.
I know she couldn't. No, she couldn't look it up because she was streaming on her phone. So, William, I love watching Teresa's reaction to
Yeah,
this.
I was just gonna new episode, idea is, just Teresa reacts. We'll do 1 month of, where Teresa just reacts to shit that you send me.
Oh, Steve says,
Please don't send me shit. Oh.
there she is. Steve says not only clipped her with the sign, but also with her left arm. There you are, Michelle.
Yikes.
This internet, it's a struggle right now. I apologize.
Hey, that's pretty good for an hour has gone by, and we haven't had much of issues there for you.
Yeah, not bad. I had told Sarah, I said, I'm so concerned about my internet on this stream, but we're just going to roll with it because that's just what we do.
There's nothing else you can do.
No.
Roll with the punches. I was going to move on and I've got a couple more pulled out over here and everything. I'm not going to drink it, but I'm going to mention it just because I've already gone up in the proof and I don't want to go back down. So Wyoming whiskey, this is another Nancy. But also the co-owner is Kate Mead. So she's the co-owner of the actual distillery. And Nancy is the master blender that assisted with this as well. Great bourbon. If you haven't tried it, it's a good little bourbon. But again, it's at 88 proof. I should have started with this because I just came off of 100 plus, and I'm not going back down. So I just want to throw that out there because not only is it the master blender a woman, but the owner is as well. So there's that. What you got?
And you know, in terms of your wheated bourbons too, like
yeah,
it is not like anything from Buffalo Trace. So don't even think that.
Yeah.
So much better. And yeah.
Well, and it's also Nancy. It's Nancy. So
it's Nancy. So all right. Well, I decided to pull out my triangular bottle from Glenfiddich. It catches the light weirdly. But the Glenfiddich Winter Storm. This is the first edition. So the reason I pulled this one out is it actually is the brainchild of Beth Havers, Whiskey Beth on Instagram. She was the Canadian National Brand Ambassador, I believe, or at least the Eastern Canada Brand Ambassador for Glenfiddich. And she left, I think, sometime last year. She's now pursuing some other things, but totally worth following. But such a great lady. And if you take a look at her picture on Instagram, she's just always smiling. And I swear, like, we're Whiskey and Lipstick, and we need to get her on because she would just be perfect. But the ice wine casks that they used to finish this Glenfiddich came from Ontario, and she was the one that helped broker that whole deal to get them to use the ice wine casks. And so as much as she was a brand ambassador and not actually involved in the blending or the aging or the distilling, like none of that, this really would never have been if it wasn't for Beth. So she's just awesome. And yeah, just look for her smile. Just look for her smile on Instagram. It's awesome.
Excellent. Before it goes off too far, I want to throw this up here from Donald. Helen Mulholland, master blender of Bushmills. So there you go.
Neat. I think I have Bushmills somewhere back here.
I don't. I might have a sample somewhere, but it's too late for all that. Moving on over here, since I've been talking so much about Nancy Fraley, Iron Root. I pulled a sample of Iron Root because the two bottles that I have in there left of Iron Root are two special bottles that need to be babied. Our YouTube pick, and then their 5-year anniversary release, was it Icarus? I'm not touching those. So yeah, I pulled a sample because we've got tons of samples from different streams and whatnot. But I am drinking the Harbinger, and this one is 61.8%. Like I said, not going down to 88 proof, going up.
Can I just say that barrel pick though? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I almost cried when my sample was gone.
That's why I'm not touching it. I've got not a whole hell of a lot. Well, got about half a bottle left. And
so good.
It's never gonna happen again. So I'm just not gonna touch it.
It's so good.
And it's the iCore. That is the 5-year. That's a black bottle up there. Again, never going to happen again like that. It was, this is what we have. This is what's getting bottled. And this is what it is. If you don't get one, sorry. And then if you run out, sorry. So it's a black bottle. Can't see through it. Can't see anything. So we really don't know what's in there, left in there. So we just haven't really touched it either. But Steve A still hates me for getting my hands on the iCore. I have a friend. I got lucky. I got lucky that one of our friends actually picked up another bottle that he was willing to part with for me. And thankfully he lives close to us. So I was very grateful for that. Yes, take my money, sir. Thank you. But the Iron Root, can't go wrong with any of the Iron Root products, in my opinion. Not only did Nancy help with that, but I mean, Mama Licorice, she's got her hands in the pot all over the place over there at Iron Root, and we had her on one of our first streams.
I think, yeah, I think maybe our second one, first or second, yeah.
And she is just a joy. I love me some Mama Licorice. So not only was it, help blended with Nancy, but Mama runs the show over there. So Marsha Licorice.
She was awesome.
She is awesome. She's very awesome. If you are in the Denison area in Texas, which is up on the close to the Oklahoma border, stop in there. Or if you're in Texas, make your way there. You won't be disappointed. What are you drinking on now, Erica?
It was already brought up, but I'm drinking some Woodford Reserve. I think Michelle mentioned it earlier. I'm drinking.
Yes. It's
a special store pick from Ray's Ed store, but had to bring it out. And I've never had a Woodford Reserve I didn't like.
Right?
The those high priced special bottles, not a real big fan of those. I don't know what they're called. But there's only one of them that I really actually liked, and it was like their chocolate something. I don't remember what they're called, but they have some special releases that they do over there at Woodford, and they aren't really worth the price. But otherwise, the chocolate malt. Thanks, William. Otherwise, there was one other that we didn't like, that Matt didn't like. Yeah, it was the malt. Their wheat is good. Their double oak is good. Their regular is good. They just have those special bottles.
I don't think I've had any of those special bottles. I've had the wheat, and then all the other ones I've had have been store pick. Really enjoyed those.
I really liked the wheat. I was really surprised. I really, really liked the wheat. Now I
enjoy a good wheat whiskey.
I have to look it up. It's the Masters Collection.
Okay.
I don't think I've had that.
I want to try it. I'm
So
curious.
I am a huge Woodford fan. I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's nice and mellow to start my evening with. I really enjoy it. So I was super excited when Idaho, which is where I live, dropped an Idaho pick. And it was the first time that there was a Woodford product. And I was like, that's not great. I don't care for it.
Oh.
And I was very disappointed.
Interesting.
But I haven't tried any of those special ones that you're talking about, Sarah. So now I'm curious about that.
I will tell you, and just what Steve said, they're not all bad, but they are overpriced for what they are.
Okay.
There was a couple of them that I was just like, no, I don't. This is not for me.
Okay.
And then, like William said, the Woodford malt, it was disgusting. We reviewed that one early on, and all three of us did not like it. I think Matt went off on a rant or something about it, and Yeah. He does that a lot. But
I don't know what that's like.
huh?
I don't know it. I don't know what that's like.
You don't know what that's like?
I don't know what that's like, going off on a rant about something. Yeah.
Oh, Matt gets very, very opinionated about certain whiskeys. And it's funny. It's fucking funny. Now I'm trying to find out which one it was that I really enjoyed of the Masters collection. There was one, I don't remember which one it was though. But yeah, William questioned why Matt would make us drink it.
I'm lucky I've been able to avoid these bad ones, apparently.
Why? So if you really want to get into a heated rant discussion with Matt, just bring up the Woodford single malt. And yeah,
Just watch him go.
watch him go.
Oh, so I need to move on to another pour.
Yeah, what you got?
And well, I'll be honest. I mean, I've got a lot of what we've already spoken about. And the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is something that I did a review on my Instagram. It's local here in Idaho. I mean, Idaho doesn't put out much of anything. We're Idaho. But there's a little tiny distillery about 30 minutes from me, and they've always done corn whiskey. And they put out, it's called the Drunken Bean, and it's a coffee whiskey.
Ooh.
I told them, because they reached out and asked if I would do a review, and I said I would. But I tasted it first, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're waiting for me to do a review, and it's really super. It's like eating sugar, and I put it over ice, and it's like having a latte, like a vanilla latte. It was amazing on ice, but you can't drink it any other way, except maybe put some in a hot coffee around a campfire. But it's amazing after you put it on ice.
Is it just a flavored whiskey?
It is. Let me grab it. Where is it? Oh, I can't reach that shelf. I'm 5 feet tall. It's actually got coffee infused in it. It's a coffee infused whiskey. Yeah.
It's not a true whiskey.
It's just enough percent below to be gray area.
Liqueur.
Yeah, it's technically a liqueur, but it's right there. And so they're branding it as a whiskey, but if I had to say, it's a liqueur. So
you can't legally brand it.
As you add something to it, like
you
whiskey,
can't brand
especially in the US.
You can't brand it as a whiskey.
Yeah,
and they are.
It'll say whiskey. Well, it'll say whiskey on it because whiskey is the base spirit inside of it.
But there has to be something on there that says that it's not really.
Yeah.
There's not.
It's a whiskey and
it's Idaho.
Blah 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 blah. Or, yeah.
It does say
labeling goes. It's a whole thing, but.
And it's brand new. It's only been released in a few states. I want to say 3. But you definitely want to put it in something or put it over ice. So anyway, I didn't pull that down today because it's not something that I would grab for on a regular basis. Maybe if I was in my pool. But the woman who had her hand in that, she's actually a country singer, up and coming. She's been opening for, oh my goodness, I can't even think of it now, but it's some pretty big name country stars. So she has done coffee and now is doing this coffee infused whiskey. So it's kind of a cool story, but I wouldn't run out and buy it.
What's it called again?
The Drunken Bean.
Look that up.
Drunken Bean, like coffee bean?
Yep.
Somebody, who is it? Emily was saying to put it over ice cream.
Ooh.
I'm like, ooh, coffee, whiskey, milkshake.
Put it in a milkshake, yeah.
I love a milkshake. Or
that just sounds like trouble in a glass.
I know. Or do like a Dalgona coffee and do that into the bottom of it, because that would be good.
Isn't that the best type of trouble, though?
Sometimes you need to have a little trouble.
Seriously. I'm trying to find a
Summer.
picture. Does it have a picture of the chick on the front? Michelle? I can't. Can you hear me, Michelle?
No, we can hear you. I can hear you.
I can't hear Michelle.
Yeah. I don't think Michelle was saying anything.
Her mouth was moving.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Oh, we can't hear you. She's not saying a mute, so.
Try again.
Can we hear you now?
Nope.
Oh,
Oh,
she's adjusting something.
okay. Can you hear us, Michelle?
Can you hear
Yeah,
hear us?
still.
Yes? No?
You can hear
yeah.
us?
She can hear us, but we can't hear you, I don't think.
Nope.
It's the microphone just needs to. Anyways.
Okay. Steve A says yes, penciled picture with a girl with a straw hat. Yeah. That's not at legal whiskey proof. It's only 35%. So it says whiskey. It says a classic coffee whiskey with natural coffee flavors. I think that's what it says. Yeah. So it's not legally where whiskey needs to be called a whiskey anyway. So
I would guess that the TTB, labeling is, whiskey with natural coffee flavors. But
right.
Right. TTB is so weird with how they
are so weird.
Label
There's so many rules.
And so many things that yeah, Steve A. This exactly that's whiskey the same way Fireball is a whiskey. It's a liqueur.
Yeah.
Are you back? Can you hear? Talk.
Yeah. This is why I don't do YouTube, because I fail every time.
You're doing great. Not YouTube, it's StreamYard. So it could be StreamYard.
Yeah.
StreamYard just puts it on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I looked it up and it's 35%, so 70 proof, so it's not even legal whiskey limit.
No, it's not.
So,
but if you look at the actual bottle, they're branding it. They're branding it that way, and I'm not sure how they're getting away with it.
Well, I think it's because the actual legal name is whiskey infused. Like, how do we read it? It was whiskey infused with coffee, with natural coffee flavor.
Yeah.
So that's the legal name. It's probably either under distilled spirit specialty category, which is a whole thing, and weird,
Fireball,
or
and that
under
kind of
liqueurs, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Weird. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only liqueur that I'm aware of, or a whiskey liqueur that I'm aware of that actually hits a 40% is Drambuie.
Drambuie, yeah.
That's the only one. There might be one other out there, one or two others, but that's the only one that comes to mind as being 40%. But
I didn't even know that was 40%.
Yep.
See, I'm learning stuff now.
Yep.
That'd be a good question for
David
Matt.
Scott.
Matt's got all the liqueurs.
Pretty sure they're 40% last time when I checked. I remember them being that. But anyways, I know we're coming up here at like 90 minutes. Not that I'm in any hurry to go anywhere because, well, there's nowhere to go. But it's Sunday night. I have to work in the morning. But I don't know. I know it's later for everybody else than it is for me. So if we need to start talking about wrapping up, that's fine. Or I'll pull out my Lafroig and play with. I might add some of my Lafroig to some of this Jane Walker.
Ooh.
Just for fun.
I think maybe
if I can reach my Lafroig.
I think maybe one more good pour if we got it. I know I have one more that I haven't gone over yet. That I can bring out here. But I need to finish this one off. I need to finish that one off and give my glass a quick rinse first.
I I can't believe I've actually like gone through like 2/3 of this bottle of Lafroig. That's insane. I don't usually drink my bottles this fast.
Lafroig
I
is
think I've-
magic.
It kind of is. I've had it for I don't know, only like a year and a half. I don't drink very often, except for like things like this. So my bottles tend to last a very long time, which is why I'm so shocked that I only have 1/3 of a bottle of Lafroig quarter cask left.
I already
So
poured it, but
Teresa, oh,
I'm gonna
go
also
ahead.
come back to Lafroig. And I have a cast strength bottle, so it's gonna put me out tonight.
So Teresa, I'm really bad with time zones. What time is it for you?
I'm Mountain Time, so I'm 8:30.
Oh, so we're the same. Okay.
Yeah, because you're Utah? No,
Idaho.
Idaho. I was gonna say Utah. I'm like, no, that's not right.
And it depends
Idaho.
on where you're at in Idaho determines your
Oh.
time.
Do you
Yeah.
you split?
It's weird. But yeah, I'm southwestern Idaho, so I'm in Mountain Time.
Well, poor Elizabeth Morgan, she's already 12:30 on Monday morning, so that's
She's in Australia.
Ooh.
12:30 p.m. not a.m. So that's like lunchtime. Oh,
She's
okay,
in
cool.
Australia, so
you know.
Day drinking.
Hey,
drinking.
day drinking.
Thank you
Thanks
for joining us.
Lilith. Yeah,
so
we're international.
this is one that I did not realize until I did some research. The assistant blender / single barrel program manager for Barrel Craft Spirits is Nick Christensen. And I didn't know that they had a female running their barrel program over there, their single barrel program, or that there was she was the assistant blender. But I love me some barrel products. I haven't come across one that I don't like yet. So that makes me even more happy. I chose this one to finish off the night with as my final pour. 2 reasons. One, this is Dovetail. It's my favorite barrel product. And 2, it's 124.34 proof. So it's the highest one I've got pulled out tonight. So I figured that was a good one to end on for me. So
I completely forgot about that one. I could have pulled that down, but now that you say that, I do remember reading a story about her, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
that's a sleeper.
I didn't even realize until I read up on it, and I was like, oh, I've got a couple different barrel products in the house that I thoroughly enjoy. But that one's my favorite, so I pulled it out. And Teresa is drinking 2/3 Jane Walker and 1/3 Lafroig quarter cask.
Yeah, give ish. Like it might be more of a 3/4 1/4 ratio, but damn, that's actually, if you want that Jane Walker to taste peated, that's just
nice blend.
Needs a splash. It's a nice.
Ooh.
I mean,
I think I'm gonna have to take your word on that one. I think
you're not a peaty. You don't do peaty stuff. Yeah,
I'm not. No, I'm trying, but I think it's kind of like black coffee. It's an acquired taste, so I'm easing in.
It can. If you find the right one, sometimes it takes that one for you to connect with. And then there are people like Sarah who just hate it because. So.
No, I don't just hate it because. I hate it because I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it tastes.
That's enough of a reason, but I still get to harass you about it when I get a chance.
Everybody does.
Why don't you love the smoky dirt?
Huh?
So I did
Why don't you love the smoky dirt?
Oh, I did try though. Kira from Shelf Turds, her and I did a Scotch flight blind, and my husband sent her a flight, and he poured me a blind flight. And there was one that didn't make me want to vomit. So there's hope. There's hope.
What was it?
I knew you were going to ask me that. It was number C. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
It actually starts with a C. I just cannot remember what it was. And I know that Spring Bake came in second for me. Because it didn't have any peat, really.
This is totally off topic, but they're talking about Ardbeg Oogie in the chat. And if you don't like Ardbeg Oogie, well, just look at the tasting map for it. And if you don't like it, well, screw you. So
Right back.
That's from this is from the Ardbeg tasting I did this week, and I loved how the I can't draw because it's backwards. I just loved how it kind of looked like it was flipping you off. And I'm like, if you don't like Ardbeg Oogie, well then.
I love it.
I gotta throw. Where'd it go?
I did ask the chat if anybody remembers what it was I liked.
The number 2 distiller at Middleton is now a woman. And that makes me happy because I like Middleton. So again, Donald with the knowledge out of nowhere. I love it.
Well,
Let's see.
And one of the things we never really talked about tonight, but distilling was actually considered women's work when you were on the frontier, because it was the men were out farming and they were the ones doing it, and the distilling was actually being done by the women because that was processing, that was stuff you did around the house. And so there's actually a very rich history of women and distilling, and yet the association has become such it's high proof, so it's a very masculine thing, but it's whiskey, it doesn't have a gender. And it's great that we can take nights like tonight and celebrate the fact that we have a growing female representation in the industry, because our opinions are valid, our contribution is valid, and if you don't like it, well, I could pull out my Oogie map again and tell you but there's just I get excited when we can find so many brands, and there's a lot. We're coming up on almost 2 hours worth of discussion about women and the products that women are putting out there. And I mean, yes, we've had some crossover between us, but a lot of exciting things to look into.
Yeah.
Well, and it is scientific fact that women's sense of smell is so much more tuned in than the male sense of smell. It's just a scientific fact. It's not good or bad. So when you're looking at things like the master taster or the nose, these are things that are scientifically women are going to be good at.
Yep. There's one that you were saying, how many, I just wrote down a handful of the ones that I found when I was researching some today. And I've got 9 names here. And one that I didn't mention yet, because I completely forgot to pull the damn bottle out, but Michter's. Andrea Wilson, she's the executive vice president / master of maturation. And I love me some Michter's. But that's just me. And these are all just bourbons that I've pulled here. And that's nine different women that are in the business with their hands literally on the whiskey, and not compared to some of the ones that I didn't pull, Lefroy, or the ones that Donald has listed in the chat there, and Michelle had the Freeland Spirit that I'd never heard of. There's more out there than I think we even touched tonight. So, like I said earlier on, we're just going to take over.
Yeah. And I feel like we talked about it earlier where like we're seeing like these younger women getting into the industry. And I think it's gonna become more common, especially as we have like especially spaces like the Women in Whiskey Facebook page. Like I got into whiskey later in life because like Ed introduced me to it. But I think as we make up like more spaces and take up space, like more women will be like, oh, I can get into this. And like they'll start getting into it like younger. And like you'll just see creativity expand a lot sooner. I'm excited.
I agree
for what the future holds.
I think it's exciting to see that, you know, like there's one of my local stores that does a women's whiskey festival for, you know, right around in March, right around International Women's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a completely different vibe in the room. And it's not that, you know, men and women can't go to a festival together and can't enjoy whiskey together. But it's just a different vibe. It's you can't really articulate it, right? Or at least I have a hard time articulating why it's different. It just feels different.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, right? Like it's nice to kind of have that space where you don't feel as much like an outsider. Not that I go to a lot of events and I've got, you know, just a handful of experiences where I felt like I was being discounted just because of my gender. Only one or two. I'm very fortunate that way. But it's cool to be surrounded by women and to have some of this conversation happening. And I love that we get together and do this and are carving out that space once a month because
It's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
What was I just saw? I just saw something here. Oh, Kilco said, I have no idea why, but I suddenly thought of whiskey lipstick inviting men on, but only if they wear lipstick. So, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. It kind of goes
That'd be a fun rule, though.
I mean, maybe once, like a special ladies' night after dark, or something after dark.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there you go, Adriana. It's still Pride Month. Full drag. It's the only way.
Good call, Adriana.
And it's got to be bright ass red. I mean, we've got to have some
you gotta
requirements.
Have on, so.
And you know those eyelashes we were talking about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
It's a must.
There you go. You got to hit up Bonnie.
Beauty is pain.
How would that work for me and Will with our beards? Can't answer that one for you, Steve A.
You can still wear the beard.
Yeah, like beards are fine.
Beard and lipstick can pair well together.
But again, it has to be bright enough that it sticks out.
Exactly.
We can have Cliffy on. I love me some Cliffy. He's good Pete's. So we should go ahead and spend the next couple minutes wrapping up, I think. We'll go down the line here. William very nicely handed me a little pad here, breaking down some of the things that we have coming up next on for Whiskey Crusaders. We do have a live stream tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central. I have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Matt's been on vacation for the past week and he got back today. So I bet you I will wake up to an email that gives me the picture and link and all that information for the social media posting. And that's when I'll find out what we're doing. Such as the live. Tuesday, we have a video dropping Koala 10 Kolila. I don't know.
I think that was it.
Kolila.
That was it?
I might have been it. I think that might have been it. That was either me or Kira that liked that.
That's hilarious. And then Thursday we've got Lagavulin 16. So I won't be in either of those episodes.
Oh.
Actually, last month when we had our Sunday, because we don't record, I won't record on do batch recordings on the days that we have our live streams. and Sundays is when we do our batch recordings. So they did a whole bunch of peated whiskeys on that Sunday, and they're still kind of going through them and releasing them. And then Saturday, we will have a liqueur video dropping like always. Again, I don't know what that is. There's a question mark on my pad here. So that's what we have coming out. Hang out with us tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central over on Whiskey Crusaders. Donald is dropping said links. Teresa's over on Canadian Whiskey Smith on Instagram.
I am. I'm also on Facebook, but they just link. So all my original content comes through on Insta. And actually, starting on Wednesday, last year I did this massive thing, 19 distilleries in 7 days, that ended up being 24 distilleries in 7 days.
I remember that.
Impressive.
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, some of them were just photo ops, right? But it was really cool. This year I'm not quite as intensive, but I am taking 10 days. I'm traveling around Alberta and going to visit a bunch of places. Wrapping up with, actually, something I'm really excited about. We have several malting places in Alberta because we're a grain and farm province. And so I am going to Red Shed Malting, and they are going to give me a behind the scenes tour and get to geek out over grain. Because without grain, there is no whiskey. Because it's kind of like, you have to have grain. So I'm really excited about that. So that's going to be kicking off on Wednesday. So would love it if you're looking to geek out about some of those, craft distilling. Come check it out.
Heck yeah. And again, over on Instagram, Canadian Whiskey Smith is how you can find Teresa. Erica.
We're here.
Yes.
And
Or here. Eric. What do you got?
Find me on the Rock Gut Review. It's mainly Ed. You can see him, watch him do outlandish things, but occasionally I join in. There also is a Facebook page you can check out, and an Instagram and Twitter, but YouTube is mainly where we're at. So check us out.
Before we move on to Michelle, I want to add that we are also over on the Discord. There is a Rock Gut Discord as well. There is a Whiskey Crusaders Discord, sub Discord as well. In the Wizcord, the link is right there.
Yeah,
Donald
is awesome.
Because
Donald's on top of it.
Because Donald. Head on over there. I say this every single live stream that I am on. There is always something happening in the Discord. If you are bored, go to the Discord. If you have a question about whiskey, go to the Discord. If you want to post some awesome food that you are eating, go to the Discord. Got cute pets? Discord. There's always something going on. Always. And there's always somebody up to chat if that's what you're looking for. So click that link, head on over, hang out with just about everybody who's in the chat here, plus others.
Steve A would like some attention as well, because it's not just Donald, but Steve did post about Whiscord earlier, and we do love Steve A as well.
Yes.
He is awesome. Yes. It's not just Donald, but
Steve
Donald
A knows that I heart him.
Yes.
Heart you, Steve A. I did see it posted.
A moderator on everyone's YouTube. He's fantastic.
Both of them. I think we should have one night where we're just like, okay, who's going to post it the fastest? And we're gonna have to time them. Like whoever posts the things the fastest, like they get, I don't know, something at the end of the night. I don't know. Send them a sample.
The whole chat would just be links.
Links of everything. Who's the fastest clicker? And I guess north. They're both up north. So, Michelle, give us some info about what you have going on over there. You got any streams coming up or anything special going on with?
Congratulations on 400.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
it's it might not be a big number to some people, but for Women of Whiskeys, we started out as a private group that no one could go to unless they were approved on Facebook. Then we decided to kind of go over to Instagram and open that up a little bit. So 400 was huge for us, and it's very exciting. My lives are very random, and it's a new thing for me. I'm still kind of learning how to do that. I actually had to learn how to do Instagram just for Women of Whiskey. So we were supposed to be rolling out cocktails and true crime, or true crime and cocktails. But my partner on that had a major life event happen unexpectedly. So we're putting that on hold of probably, if I had to guess, probably about a month. And we're going to roll out, I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing or a monthly thing, where we make a cocktail, we sip on it, and we tell a true crime story. So that's something fun that we're going to be doing here in the near future.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. So, ladies in the chat, if you are not already on the Facebook Women's in Whiskey group, go over there, find it, join us, chat, hang out. Anybody can join and follow, not join, but follow the Instagram side of things. So head on over, see what's going on. Like she said, the lives are mostly over there. So,
And if you cannot find it, people say I can't find it. It's usually because whiskeys is plural.
Yes.
So Women of Whiskeys, plural. If you're not finding it, look for the S.
There you go. And if you still have problems, all of us are on Facebook. I don't know if Michelle, are you over on Discord?
I am. I just don't think I jump in much. I really need to do that. So yeah.
Otherwise, I know the three of us are on Discord, so you can tag one of us. All of us are in the Facebook group as well. I follow the Instagram too. So if you can't find it, just reach out to one of us and we'll help you out. What is that?
Oh, cool, Steve.
Oh, did he just drop the link? Oh, no.
Nope. I believe he
there
tried
it is.
to, and he ended up there. Yes, that is the Facebook group for ladies only.
Women only in the Facebook group, guys.
Instagram, everyone's invited to the party. So
Instagram's all there.
And
all right.
It's women
Thank you.
and those who identify as being women.
Yes, it's absolutely, and that is in the description. If you are a woman or identify as a woman, you are more than welcome.
There you go. And for us, we will be on again next month, the last Sunday of the month. Let me pull up my calendar here. July. That is the 25th. And we have lined up to have Leanne from Scotch on the Bayou on with us. We are not 100% sure what we are going to be talking about yet, but she's going to be on.
Okay.
What?
We've also lined up Whiskey Mentors, Irene.
Yes.
Single
So
barrel.
August.
Or is that August? I thought we had her for July. I don't know what we're doing.
I have Leanne. I have Leanne scheduled. I have Leanne scheduled for July, but
I'll double check because I thought we had Irene. It doesn't matter. At some point we're having Whiskey on the Bayou and Whiskey Mentors, and just come for the last fucking Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
Watch all
Hit the bell, subscribe, like all the things.
That is the main point that we are trying to get across. Last Sunday of every month, we are here. And like she said, hit the bell, hit the, follow button, all that jazz. Yeah. All right. Anybody else got anything else? Or are we going to go ahead and wrap this up for this evening?
Thank you so very much for having me on the screen.
Yes.
It was a blast.
Hang around when I click the end broadcast button. Hang around.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else, ladies? No?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for hanging out.
Cheers.
We'll see you next time.